Hey everyone, welcome to this week's session. Today's topic is React versus Angular in 2020. Before we begin, I'd like to thank all our viewers for actively participating in these sessions. And whilst you're here, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss an update from us. So what's in it for you? We'll first get familiar with both the programming languages by going through a quick introduction. Then, we will compare React and Angular, focusing on their performance. After that, we will discuss the learning curve for learning both of these frameworks. We'll also get to know about the adoption of these frameworks and their application in the field of web development. After that, we'll compare the community support available for each framework. Then, we will dive into the industry trends and job prospects. And in the end, I'm going to tell you which technology to choose. But I will give you enough food for thought for you to choose the technology that suits you and your project best. So let me first give you an introduction to React. Now, React is a JavaScript library for UI development. It is managed by Facebook and has an open source community of developers. The framework was introduced in May 2013. It is currently one of the most popular front-end libraries for web development. Moving on to Angular. Angular is an open source JavaScript framework for web development and mobile development. It is TypeScript based and is managed by Google's Angular team and the Angular developer community. Launched in September 2016, Angular, also known as Angular 2.0, is a complete rewrite of AngularJS, which was introduced in 2010. It competes directly with React front-end library. Moving on, let's go ahead and compare the performance. Now, React's performance is greatly improved with the introduction of the virtual DOM and is generally better than that of Angular. React uses the concept of virtual DOM that puts less load on the browser. React was released with the USP of being faster than other frameworks available. Furthermore, since the data binding process is unidirectional, bindings are not assigned watchers as in the case of Angular. When it comes to Angular, it performs worse, especially in complex and dynamic applications. The performance of Angular apps is negatively affected by bidirectional data binding. Angular uses traditional DOM that updates the whole web page even if a single element is changed. However, the most recent update of Angular has greatly improved its performance and it does not lose to React anymore. So moving ahead, let me give you a brief insight into the learning curve. React is a library and not a framework. It is quite simple to understand if you're familiar with JavaScript. However, it takes time to learn how to set up a project properly. So you need to learn the Redux library, which is used in more than half of React applications for state management. React depends on other libraries to add functionality. Constant framework updates also require additional effort from the developer. Complex to understand. Some complicated features are embedded into the framework core, which means that the developer cannot avoid learning and using them. Angular itself is a huge library. So initial learning effort is worth it since you probably won't have to learn other libraries like React. Moving ahead, let's look at the community support. React framework is one of the most popular JavaScript frameworks worldwide. It has larger community support and you may face a lack of documentation at times. The community support makes up for the lack in documentation. When it comes to Angular, even though Angular was released before, its adoption is lesser when compared to React. Comparatively, it has a smaller community support. Documentation is on point and definitely better in the case of Angular. Also, the community support has improved over the few years. Moving on, let's look at adoption and application. React was released in May 2013. React is more popularly adopted by developers due to its simplicity. It is actively used by companies like Facebook, Twitter, Netflix, Airbnb, and many others. Now here, New York Times is one of the many popular websites built using React. Every news section acts as a separate component. So if any one of the component updates, The entire web page doesn't have to reload, making the web app feel much faster and smoother. This is just to give you a brief example. When it comes to Angular, it was released in October 2010. Even though it is improved now, developers used to ignore Angular due to its complexity at the time of its release. Angular is used by Google, Apple, Nike, McDonald's, and other companies. Now, Gmail is one of the many popular websites built using Angular. Only the initial loading takes time, but after that, everything is so smooth because it is preloaded onto the web browser. Similarity of React and Angular in the last 5 years. We can clearly make out that React's popularity is increasing over time, while Angular's popularity is more of a straight line. Moving on to job trends, a React developer's average salary in the United States is around $91,000 per annum. In India, the average salary of a React developer is around 7.35 lakhs per annum. When it comes to Angular, an average salary of an Angular developer in the US is around $73,000. When it comes to India, the average salary is around 4.88 lakhs per annum. So in conclusion, Angular is a full-fledged mobile and web development framework. React is a library only for UI development, which can be turned into a full-fledged solution with the help of additional libraries. React seems simpler at first sight, and it takes lesser time to start working on a React project. However, that simplicity as the main advantage of React is neutralized because you have to learn to work with additional frameworks and tools. Angular itself is more complex and takes quite some time to master. Yet, it is a powerful tool that offers a holistic web development experience, and once you learn how to work with it, you reap the fruits. Now, there is no better framework. Both are updated continuously to keep up with the competitor. For instance, while React was believed to win because of its virtual DOM, Angular equaled the score by implementing change detection. In the end, Angular versus React is all a matter of personal preference, a matter of skills and habits. As a beginner in programming, you would probably benefit more from starting with React. As an experienced developer, you just keep working with what you know better. So with that, I'd like to end this session. I hope you liked it. Do you think we missed out on anything important? Let us know in the chat section below. Thank you so much for watching and thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to be back with more videos soon. Until then, keep learning and stay tuned to Simplilearn.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.